This is a list of the extreme points of the United States, the points that are farther north, south, east, or west than any other location in the country. Also included are extreme points in elevation, extreme distances, and other points of peculiar geographic interest. Northernmost points: Point Barrow, Alaska, 71.38889 degrees north, 156.47917 degrees west, 71.38889 minus 156.47917. Northernmost point in all U.S. territory: Barrow, Alaska, 71.29556 degrees north, 156.76639 degrees west, 71.29556 minus 156.76639. Northernmost incorporated place in all U.S. territory, population about 4,000. Fairbanks, Alaska, 64.8397056 degrees north, 147.72073036 degrees west, 64.8397056 minus 147.72073036. Northernmost city of more than 20,000 residents, and northernmost city with public road access: Anchorage, Alaska, 61.2178250 degrees north, 149.892547 degrees west, 61.2178250 minus 149.892547. Northernmost city of more than 250,000 residents, Northwest Angle Inlet in Lake of the Woods, Minnesota, 49.38447 degrees north, 95.153389 degrees west, 49.38447 minus 95.153389. Northernmost point in the 48 contiguous states settling the American Revolutionary War: Sumas, Washington, 49.002389 degrees north, 122.26111 degrees west, 49.002389 minus 122.26111. Northernmost incorporated place in the 48 contiguous states: Lyndon, Washington, 48.94528 degrees north, 122.45278 degrees west, 48.94528 minus 122.45278. Northernmost city of more than 10,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states: Bellingham, Washington, 48.7553111 degrees north, 122.4787611 degrees west, 48.7553111 minus 122.4787611. Northernmost city of more than 50,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states: Everett, Washington, 47.97806 degrees north, 122.20750 degrees west, 47.97806 minus 122.20750. Northernmost city of more than 100,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states: Spokane, Washington, 47.66028 degrees north, 117.42361 degrees west, 47.66028 minus 117.42361. Northernmost city of more than 200,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states: Seattle, Washington, 47.6038361 degrees north, 122.333 47.3015556 degrees west, 47.6038361 minus 122.33015556 northernmost city of more than 500,000 residents in the United States. Alaska has the northernmost geographic center of all the states. North Dakota has the northernmost geographic center of the 48 contiguous states. Note that maps of the 48 states that are displayed in a non-cylindrical projection can give the impression that the state of Maine extends farther north than it actually does. The northernmost point in Maine is at approximately 47.46 degrees north latitude. This line of latitude passes through the southern suburbs of Seattle. Further, it is approximately 100 miles north to the 49th parallel. A wide swath of land within the 48 states is therefore farther north than any place in Maine. Included in this area are such places as Spokane, Washington, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, Great Falls, Montana, Minot and Grand Forks, North Dakota, and Bemidji, Minnesota. Even Isle Royale and parts of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan are farther north than anywhere in Maine. By comparison, the southernmost land in Canada, Middle Island, Ontario, at a latitude of north 41 degrees 40 minutes 53 seconds, lies entirely south of 12 of the contiguous states: Washington, Idaho, Minnesota, Montana, North Dakota, Michigan, Maine, Wisconsin, Oregon, South Dakota, New Hampshire and Vermont, and south of the northernmost border of 14 more of the contiguous states. Southernmost points: Amundsen Scott South Pole Station, Antarctica. Southernmost point under United States jurisdiction: Rose Atoll, American Samoa. Southernmost point in all U.S.-controlled territory: Palmyra Atoll, southernmost point in all U.S. incorporated territory. Ka'ale, Hawaii, southernmost point in the 50 states. Nalehu, Hawaii, southernmost town in the 50 states. Hilo, Hawaii, southernmost place with a population over 25,000 in the 50 states. City and County of Honolulu, Hawaii, southernmost incorporated place in the 50 states. Western Dry Rocks, Florida, in the Florida Keys, southernmost point in the 48 contiguous states, occasionally above water at low tide. Balaski, Florida, southernmost point in the 48 contiguous states, continuously above water. Key West, Florida, southernmost incorporated place in the contiguous 48 states. Cape Sable, Florida, southernmost point on the U.S. mainland. Florida City, Florida, southernmost municipality in continental USA. Miami, Florida, the southernmost major metropolitan city in the 48 contiguous states. Cameron County, Texas, 25.837361 degrees north, 97.39417 degrees west, 25.837361 minus 97.39417. Southernmost point on the Mexico-United States border. Hawaii has the southernmost geographic center of all the states. Florida has the southernmost geographic center of the 48 contiguous states. Note that maps of the 48 states that are displayed in an equal area projection can give the impression that the state of Texas extends farther south than it actually does. The southernmost point in Texas is at approximately 25 degrees 50 north latitude. This line of latitude passes through the northern neighborhoods of Miami, Florida. Easternmost points: Point Udall, St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, 17.75528 degrees north, 64.56500 degrees west, 17.75528, minus 64.5650 easternmost point in all U.S. territory, by direction of travel. Christiansted, United States Virgin Islands, 17.7482 degrees north, 64.7168 degrees west, 17.7482, minus 64.7168 easternmost town in all U.S. territory, by direction of travel. Sail Rock, 44.812556 degrees north, 66.947028 degrees west, 44.812556, minus 66.947028, just offshore of West Pondy Head, Maine, easternmost point in the 50 states, by direction of travel. West Quoddy Head, Maine, 44.815389 degrees north, 66.949778 degrees west, 44.815389, minus 66.949778 easternmost point on the U.S. mainland. Lubeck, Maine, 44.81719 degrees north, 66.949895 degrees west, 44.81719, minus 66.949895 easternmost incorporated place in the 50 states. Eastport, Maine, easternmost incorporated city in the 50 states. Calais, Maine, easternmost city of more than 2,500 residents in the 50 states. Holton, Maine, easternmost city of more than 5,000 residents in the 50 states. Bangor, Maine, easternmost city of more than 20,000 residents in the 50 states. Portland, Maine, easternmost city of more than 50,000 residents in the 50 states. Boston, Massachusetts, easternmost major U.S. city. Pochnoi Point, Semi-Sopochnoi Island, Alaska, 51.96167 degrees north, 179.77306 degrees east, 51.96167, 179.77306 easternmost point in all U.S. territory by longitude, ironically, in the Alaskan Aleutian Islands, west of the westernmost point in the U.S. by longitude due to interposition of 180 degrees longitude, which conventionally divides west from east in geographic terms. Peacock Point, Wake Island, 19.270333 degrees north, 166.657306 degrees east, 19.270333, 166.657306 first sunrise in all U.S. territory. Northern Islands Municipality, Northern Mariana Islands, 16.0271 degrees north, 146.0645 degrees east, 16.0271, 146.0645 easternmost municipality in all U.S. territory by longitude. Maine has the easternmost geographic center out of the 50 states. Note that maps of the 48 states that are displayed in an equal area projection can give the impression that the state of Florida extends farther east than it actually does. The easternmost point in Florida is at approximately 80.03 degrees west longitude. This line of longitude passes through such places as Charleston, South Carolina, High Point, North Carolina, Salem, Virginia, Morgantown, West Virginia, and Pittsburgh and Erie, Pennsylvania, farther west than all of New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, and all of the New England states. Westernmost points. Point Udall, Guam, westernmost point in all U.S. territory by direction of travel. Peaked Island, offshore from Cape Wrangel, Attu Island, Alaska, 52.92056 degrees north, 172.43778 degrees east, 52.92056, 172.43778 westernmost point in the 50 states by direction of travel, and last sunset in all U.S. territory. West of it passes the International Dateline, after which come Russian territorial islands. Amatinak Island, Alaska, 51.26861 degrees north, 179.14861 degrees west, 51.26861, minus 179.14861 technically westernmost point in all of U.S. territory by longitude, but not the westernmost of the U.S. Aleutian Islands. It possesses the highest longitude west figure before 180 degrees longitude, which passes west of it. After 180 degrees, longitude is termed east, and declines numerically. Adak, Alaska, 51.8224 degrees north, 176.7147 degrees west, 51.8224, minus 176.7147 westernmost incorporated city in the 50 states. Unalaska, Alaska, 53.888984 degrees north, 166.527239 degrees west, 53.888984, minus 166.527239 westernmost city of more than 2,500 residents in the 50 states. Cape Prince of Wales, Alaska, 65.64222 degrees north, 168.11889 degrees west, 65.64222, minus 168.11889 westernmost point on the North American continent. Anchor Point, Alaska, westernmost point on the continuous road system of North America. Umatilla Reef, offshore from Cape Alava, Washington, westernmost point in the 48 contiguous states, occasionally above water at low tide. Bow Delta Islands, offshore from Cape Alava, Washington, 48.178528 degrees north, 124.777169 4 degrees west, 48.178528, minus 124.77169 for westernmost point in the 48 contiguous states, continuously above water. Cape Alava, Washington, westernmost point on the U.S. mainland. Ozark, Washington, 48.154722 degrees north, 124.667222 degrees west, 48.154722, minus 124.667222 westernmost town in the 48 contiguous states. Port Orford, Oregon, 42.754065 degrees north, 124.512605 degrees west, 42.754065, minus 124.512605 westernmost incorporated place in the 48 contiguous states. Brookings, Oregon, westernmost city of more than 5,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states. Coos Bay, Oregon, westernmost city of more than 10,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states. Eureka, California, westernmost city of more than 25,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states. Corvallis, Oregon, westernmost city of more than 50,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states. Eugene, Oregon, westernmost city of more than 100,000 100,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states. Portland, Oregon, westernmost city of more than 500,000 residents in the 48 contiguous states. Hawaii has the westernmost geographic center of all the states. Oregon has the westernmost geographic center of the 48 contiguous states. Note that maps of the 48 states that are displayed in an equal area projection can give the impression that the state of California extends farther west than it actually does. The westernmost point in California is approximately 7 miles east of the westernmost point in Oregon, and approximately 14 miles east of the westernmost point in Washington. Interpretation of easternmost and westernmost. There are three methods for reckoning the eastern and western extremes of the United States. One method is to use the prime meridian as the dividing line between east and west. This meridian, running through Greenwich, London, is defined as 0 degrees longitude and can be called the least eastern and least western place in the world. The 180th meridian on the opposite side of the globe is therefore the easternmost and westernmost place in the world. Another method is to use the international dateline as the easternmost westernmost extreme. On the equinox, the easternmost place would be where the day first begins, and the westernmost is where the day last ends. Still another method is to first determine the geographic center of the country and from the measure the shortest distance to every other point. All U.S. territory is spread across less than 180 degrees of longitude, so from any spot in the U.S. it is more direct to reach Point Udall, U.S. Virgin Islands, by traveling east than by traveling west. Likewise, there is not a single point in U.S. territory from which heading east is a shorter route to Point Udall, Guam, than heading west would be, even accounting for circumpolar routes. The two Udalls for whom the 2 points are named were brothers, Mo Udall in Guam and Stuart Udall in the Virgin Islands. Highest points: Denali, Alaska, United States, 63.06917 degrees north, 151.00639 degrees west, 63.06917 minus 151.00639. Highest summit in the United States, all U.S. territories, and North America at 20,310 feet. Mount Whitney, California, 36.578661 degrees north, 118.29194 degrees west, 36.57861 minus 118.29194. Highest point in the 48 contiguous states at 14,505 feet. Mount Elbert, highest point on the continental divide of North America at 14,440 feet. Mauna Kea, Hawaii at 19.82056 degrees north, 155.46806 degrees west, 19.82056 minus 155.46806. Highest island summit in all U.S. territory in the entire Pacific Ocean at 13,796 feet. Taos Ski Valley, New Mexico, 36.59778 degrees north, 105.4450 degrees west, 36.59778 minus 105.4450. Highest village limits in all U.S. territory at 12,581 feet. Winter Park, Colorado, 39.89278 degrees north, 105.76194 degrees west, 39.89278 minus 105.76194. Highest city limits in all U.S. territory at 12,060 feet. San Juan County, Colorado, 37.817 degrees north, 107.667 degrees west, 37.817 minus 107.667 highest U.S. county based on a mean elevation. Alma, Colorado, 39.28389 degrees north, 106.06278 degrees west, 39.28389 minus 106.06278 highest town in all U.S. territory at 10,355 feet. Contiguous residential areas extend to 11,680 feet. Leadville, Colorado, 39.24722 degrees north, 106.29167 degrees west, 39.24722 minus 106.29167 highest city in all U.S. territory at 10,152 feet. Closing parenthesis. Lake County Airport, Colorado, 39.22028 degrees north, 106.31667 degrees west, 39.22028 minus 106.31667 highest airfield in all U.S. territory and North America at 9,927 feet. New Mexico State Capital, Santa Fe, 35.68222 degrees north, 105.93972 degrees west, 35.68222 minus 105.93972 highest state capital in the United States at 7,005 feet. State of Colorado, 39.000 degrees north, 105.500 degrees west, 39.000 minus 105.500 highest U.S. state based on an average elevation of 6,800 feet. Mount Mitchell, North Carolina, 35.76472 degrees north, 82.2650 degrees west, 35.76472 minus 82.2650 highest point in eastern United States at 6,684 feet. Mount Washington, New Hampshire, 44.27028 degrees north, 71.30333 degrees west, 44.27028 minus 71.30333 highest point in northeastern United States at 6,288 feet. Arikari River, Yuma County, Colorado at Kansas state line, 39.97833 degrees north, 102.05167 degrees west, 39.97833 minus 102.05167 highest U.S. state low point at 3,317 feet. Beach Mountain, North Carolina, 36.20639 degrees north, 81.88306 degrees west, 36.20639 minus 81.88306 is the highest incorporated community at an elevation of 5,506 feet east of the Mississippi River. Boone, North Carolina, 36.21139 degrees north, 81.66861 degrees west, 36.21139 minus 81.66861 has the highest elevation of any town of its size east of the Mississippi River. Eisenhower Tunnel west of Denver, Colorado is the highest point on the interstate highway system at 11,158 feet. Lowest points: Badwater Basin, Death Valley, California, 36.23972 degrees north, 116.83472 degrees west, 36.23972 minus 116.83472. Lowest surface point in all U.S. territory and North America at minus 279 feet. Salton Sea, California, 33.33306 degrees north, 115.83417 degrees west, 33.33306, minus 115.83417. Lowest lake in all U.S. territory and North America at minus 226 feet. Furnace Creek Airport, California, 36.46389 degrees north, 116.88139 degrees west, 36.46389, minus 116.88139. Lowest airfield in all U.S. territory and Western Hemisphere at minus 210 feet. Furnace Creek, California, 36.45806 degrees north, 116.87083 degrees west, 36.45806, minus 116.87083. Lowest settlement in all U.S. territory and Western Hemisphere at minus 190 feet. Calipatria, California, 33.12556 degrees north, 115.51417 degrees west, 33.12556, minus 115.51417. Lowest city in all U.S. territory and Western Hemisphere at minus 184 feet. Ninth Ward of New Orleans, Louisiana, 30.04444 degrees north, 89.94639 degrees west, 30.04444, minus 89.94639. Lowest surface point in eastern United States at minus 7 feet. New Orleans, Louisiana, 29.967 degrees north, 90.050 degrees west, 29.967, minus 90.050. Lowest city over 250,000 population in all U.S. territory and Western Hemisphere with an average elevation of minus 1.5 feet. State of Delaware, 39.00472 degrees north, 75.54611 degrees west, 39.00472, minus 75.54611. Lowest U.S. state with an average elevation of 60 feet. Britton Hill, Florida, 30.98833 degrees north, 86.28194 degrees west, 30.98833, minus 86.28194. Lowest U.S. state high point at 345 feet. Lake Superior Bottom, Michigan, 46.90861 degrees north, 86.59778 degrees west, 46.90861, minus 86.59778. Lowest freshwater point in all U.S. territory at minus 732 feet. Puget Sound Bottom, Washington, 47.7483 degrees north, 122.4283 degrees west, 47.7483, minus 122.4283. Lowest seawater point in the interior of the United States at minus 956 feet. Other points: Most remote point in the 50 states. Ipnavik River National Petroleum Reserve, Alaska, 68.750 degrees north, 156.683 degrees west, 68.750 minus 156.683, 120 miles from nearest habitation. Geographic center of the 50 states, approximately 20 miles north of Belforge, South Dakota, 44.967 degrees north, 103.767 degrees west, 44.967 minus 103.767. Geographic center of the 48 contiguous states, approximately 4 miles west of Lebanon, Kansas, 39.833 degrees north, 98.583 degrees west, 39.833 minus 98.583. Closest to the equator, Baker Island is located at 0.19472 degrees north, 176.4794 degrees west, 0.19472 minus 176.47944. The geographic center of the North American continent is located at 48.167 degrees north, 100.167 degrees west, 48.167 minus 100.167. About 6 miles west of Bolter in Pierce County, North Dakota. The North American pole of inaccessibility is located at 43.367 degrees north, 101.967 degrees west, 43.367 minus 101.967. About 11 miles southeast of the town of Kyle on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in Bennett County, South Dakota. 1,025 miles from the nearest coastlines. Islands. Island of Hawaii, Hawaii, 19.82083 degrees north, 155.46806 degrees west, 19.82083 minus 155.46806. Most extensive island in all U.S. territory at 4,028 square miles and tallest island in all U.S. territory in the entire Pacific Ocean at 13,796 feet. Kodiak Island, Alaska, 57.467 degrees north, 153.433 degrees west, 57.467 minus 153.433. Most extensive Gulf of Alaska Island at 3,595.09 square miles. Island of Puerto Rico, 18.250 degrees north, 66.500 degrees west, 18.250 minus 66.500. Most extensive island of U.S. Caribbean territory at 3,515.1 square miles. Prince of Wales Island, Alaska, 55.63194 degrees north, 132.90750 degrees west, 55.63194 minus 132.90750. Most extensive island of the Alexander Archipelago at 2,577 square miles. St. Lawrence Island, Alaska, 63.4150 degrees north, 170.3994 degrees west, 63.4150 minus 170.3994. For most extensive Bering Sea Island at 1,791.56 square miles. Arnamac Island, Alaska, 54.6 167.7833 degrees north, 164.186667 degrees west, 54.76833, minus 164.18667. Most extensive Aleutian Island at 1,571.41 square miles. Long Island, New York, 40.86944 degrees north, 73.0000 degrees west, 40.86944, minus 73.0000. Most extensive island of the U.S. Atlantic coast at 1,401 square miles. Padre Island, Texas, 26.8444 degrees north, 97.36778 degrees west, 26.84444, minus 97.36778. Most extensive Gulf of Mexico Island at 209 square miles and longest barrier island on Earth at 113 miles. Isle Royale in Lake Superior, Michigan, 48.00 degrees north, 88.917 degrees west, 48.00 minus 88.917. Most extensive island in a lake in all U.S. territory at 206.73 square miles. Whidbey Island, Washington, 48.13639 degrees north, 122.58250 degrees west, 48.13639, minus 122.58250. Most extensive island of Puget Sound at 168.67 square miles. Santa Cruz Island, California, 34.00361 degrees north, 119.72639 degrees west, 34.00361, minus 119.72639. Most extensive of the Channel Islands of California at 97 square miles. Lakes, Lake Superior, 47.750 degrees north, 87.500 degrees west, 47.750, minus 87.50. Largest freshwater lake in the world by surface area at 31,700 square miles. Most voluminous freshwater lake in the United States at 2,900 cubic miles. Great Salt Lake, Utah, 41.167 degrees north, 112.583 degrees west, 41.167, minus 112.583. Most extensive Endurriat Lake at 1,700 square miles. Crater Lake, Oregon, 42.950 degrees north, 122.083 degrees west, 42.950, minus 122.083. Deepest lake at 1,943 feet. Rivers. Mississippi River, 29.15111 degrees north, 89.25333 degrees west, 29.15111, minus 89.25333. Most extensive river basin at 1,151,000 square miles. Mississippi, Missouri Jefferson Rivers, 29.15111 degrees north, 89.25333 degrees west, 29.15111, minus 89.25333. Longest river system at 3,902 miles. Missouri River, 38.81361 degrees north, 90.11972 degrees west, 38.81361, minus 90.11972. Longest main state stem river at 2,341 miles. Mississippi River, 29.15111 degrees north, 89.25333 degrees west, 29.15111 minus 89.25333. Longest Gulf of Mexico main stem river at 2,202 miles. Yukon River, 62.59861 degrees north, 164.79444 degrees west, 62.59861 minus 164.79444. Longest Bering Sea main stem river at 1,979 miles. Colorado River, 31.81583 degrees north, 114.80611 degrees west, 31.81583 minus 114.80611. Longest Gulf of California main stem river at 1,450 miles. Columbia River, 46.24417 degrees north, 124.05806 degrees west, 46.24417 minus 124.05806. Longest Pacific Ocean main stem river at 1,243 miles. St. Lawrence River, 49.667 degrees north, 64.500 degrees west, 49.667 minus 64.500. Longest Atlantic Ocean main stem river at 600 miles. Bear River, 41.45833 degrees north, 112.29028 degrees west, 41.45833 minus 112.29028. Longest Endurioc Basin main stem river at 491 miles. Extremes in distance. Greatest east-west distance in the 48 contiguous states, 2,800 miles. Greatest north-south distance in the 48 contiguous states, 1,650 miles. Greatest distance between any 2 points within U.S. territory, 9,514 miles from Point Udall, Guam to Point Udall, St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Greatest distance between any 2 points within the 50 states, 5,859 miles from Kure Atoll, Hawaii to Log Point, Elliott Key, Florida. Greatest distance between any 2 points within the contiguous 48 states, 2,901 miles from North Farallon Island, California to Sail Rock, east of West Quoddy Head, Maine. Greatest distance between any 2 mainland points within the contiguous 48 states, 2,892 miles from Point Arena, California to West Quoddy Head, Maine. Greatest distance between 2 points on the same latitude, 5,823 miles from Kure Atoll, Hawaii to Riviera Beach, Florida. Note that some map projections make diagonal lines appear longer than they actually are. However, the diagonal line from Kure Atoll, Hawaii to West Quoddy Head, Maine is only 5,797 miles, and the diagonal from Cape Wrangell, Attu Island, Alaska to Log Point on Elliott Key, Florida is only 5,505 miles.